Hello everyone and welcome to the webinar CapaInstaller Introduction. Alright, the agenda for today. First of all, I will say welcome to you all and tell a little about myself. We will look at the webinar software we are using, how you can get in contact with us. We will look at the CapaInstaller product, what is it and what can it do for you. And I will make a demo of some of the features that it provides. My name is Martin Sondergaard. I'm the presenter of today. I'm a product manager here at CapaSystems. I have about 16 years experiences as a Capa installer and system management consultant, and here after 2 years as a product manager. Here at the webinar, we are using GoToWebinar. In this GoToWebinar software, there's a chat function. You can use this chat function to get in contact with us. So please don't hesitate. If you have any questions, anything, just select the drop down, select send question to staff, write your question and click send. Then we'll get the question and we will answer you as fast as possible. So let's get started. What is CapaInstaller? Well, CapaInstaller is a system management product with focus on easy operation and maintenance. In addition, we have a high level of support. In the category system management, we operate with configuration management, OS deployment, patch management, and asset management. Let's take a deeper look into this. CapaInstaller Configuration Management offers you a simple configuration for Windows, smartphones, and tablets in one solution. The CapaInstaller OS deployment gives you configuration, deployment, and maintenance of Windows operating systems. Our CapaInstaller Patch Management secures your business with staged and scalable deployment. Said another way, we automate the patch deployment so you're always secure and safe. With CapaInstaller Asset Management, we give you a smooth and effective administration of both software, user, and hardware assets, which the agents collect from Windows, Apple OS X, smartphones, and tablets. Asset Management also gives you custom assets such as projectors, rooms, or whatever asset you need to keep track on. Okay, let's look at some of the features in the CapaInstaller. Instead of just give you a long list with 500 features, I've taken some real user stories with me that comes from the real world for some of our customers. The first one in here is easy enrollment. It's about a retail chain IT administrator that want to make the shop staff enroll their own devices so they can get the configuration and application they need in the shops. In this case, it's a company with about 100 shops around in the world, and what they actually want is, instead of sending mobile devices into the headquarters, they just want to send it directly out to the shop, and then make the shop staff enroll them themselves to get the right configuration for the wireless and for the application. For this feature, we have the easy enrollment. The next user story is about an IT administrator that simply just wants to manage all his devices in one system. Well, in CapaInstaller, it's possible to do that. We both have full mobile device management and Windows management. For the web console, we had a user story about a public school IT administrator that want to manage their own smartphones and Windows computers that is available for them at their own school. In this scenario, they have a central IT department that is managing all the schools and the administrative network, but they actually want the local IT administrator to manage their own devices. For this, they have the web console. They can only manage the devices and Windows computers that is available on the school they are managing. For this, they are using the web console. For lifecycle management, we have introduced something called utilization index. And in this case, it was about a purchasing manager that want more information about the computers, so he could identify what computers he need to replace. So for this, we introduced this utilization index, which try to indicate how many resources are being used on the computers out there. So instead of just replacing the computers after maybe, let's say, 3 years, they can replace it. They can replace the computer based on how much of the computer's performance is being used. The other user stories was about some features in the CapaInstaller product. We also have some services available. One of the services is called CapaPacks. With this service, you are able to get new versions of Java and .NET Framework and Adobe Flash Player and etc. I think we have about 50 or 60 applications available that will be updated automatically within 10 days from the release from the third party. So this is also a feature available for you. So that was the user stories I had with me today. I hope they give you a good idea about which features are available in the product and how we work with our customers. Let's look at the advantages in the product. Well, it's one solution for both Windows and mobile devices, so you don't have to invest in other management products to configure your environment. You can delegate control to end users or maybe IT administrators at branch offices. In that way, you can release IT resources at your department and maybe use them on other critical projects. With CapaInstaller, we have a low implementation cost. It's a matter of days and not weeks to set it up for production. We have very low maintenance cost. It's very easy to learn and master in your IT department. So that's it. Let's go for the demo. I will just show you around in the product, a quick overview of what is available, and then I will show some of the user point of view in the product. Alright, I have started up my CapaInstaller management console. Let's take a look at the main modules in here. The first one on the list here on the left is the changelog. This is where everything changed in the system will be logged. The configuration management is all about distributing software. The OS deployment is, all about distributing operation system to your environment. Asset management, you can add information to the system, such as license information or custom assets. Reporting and queries, you can get all the information out of the system again. And with patch management, you can distribute patches to your environment in a safe manner. The system administration is for configuring the CapaInstaller management suite. Well, I configure anything today. I hope so. We wouldn't need this one today. Let's take a look at the first one, the changelog. As I said, everything will be changed in the system will be logged here in the changelog. So if anyone is adding a package to computers or groups, or creating other configurations, it will be logged in here who did it and when they did. So let's say that somebody from the support is distributing a package with the wrong version, and you need to find out who actually did this and when. Then you can go into the changelog and get all the information you need for that, or for tracking down who did it, so you can fix it, or at least tell the people that they're using the wrong version, or whatever you decide to do. So that's changelog. You will also see this changelog available everywhere in the product. So if you look on a computer, you will also look at the changelog, and you can see the changes that has been done on the computer in the last few days. All right, the configuration management. This is what I would say the main module. This is the module you will use the most. In this demo environment, I have 2 points, as we call them. I have a CMP test point and a CMP production point. This CMP production is actually a child point to this CMP test. That means that every changes that I create in the system, I need to do that in the test environment and then promote it down to the production. So in that way, we can protect your environment for any changes that was not planned to be done. We could try to create a package or add a package to the system. As I said before, you have to do anything you don't have to have these 2 points, but in this case, I have to make any changes in the CMP test. You can see this by when I click in here, I cannot create any packages. To create a package or add a package, I need to select the test environment, and then I can right click up here and say import. So we can try to take a Kappa package, and that was the service I was mentioning a little earlier. So I'll just start up a web browser, and let's take a little package such as 7-zip. There is a lot of packages available in here. You can see all the windows here. So if you need Java or Adobe Reader or anything of the others, then you can just take that. But for this one, just because it's a little faster to install, I will select the 7-zip. Just need to save this one. I'll just save it on the desktop. And that's it. Then it's available. Back in our CapaInstaller import-export tool, I can import this package to the CapaInstaller by clicking this import package from file. Then I will just need to browse to my desktop. That's one selected already. And I can select the 7-zip. Then I click next. And then I can see the name as it will appear in CapaInstaller. 7-zip 9.20. That is okay. I can select if it should be attended or it should be silent. I will just use attended. Then I will get a dialog on the user's computer saying that this installation has been started on your computer, so please don't shut it down while it's installing. Click next, and it will import the kit, and that's it. The package is available in the test environment. Well, here in my demo environment, I don't have any computers in my test environment, so I will just promote this one down to the production. But this little thing will actually protect the production for new packages that will be overwritten from existing versions. Let's see if the package was added to the production. We'll go down here, we can see the 7-zip package, and I can just take this package, add it to the buffer. This is like copy paste on your keyboard. You can also use Control C and Control V on the keyboard to do that. You have the package buffer up here. I also have a Adobe Reader in here. I don't need that. I can just remove that one out and say OK to that dialog. Alright, I have a test computer in here. This computer is actually just my home computer connected to the internet. It's not a member of the domain in my demo environment or anything, so it's only communicating through our HTTP agent. So you don't need to be available in the same network as the management server to install software. So I have the machine here, so I should just be able to right click and say paste packages. I get this changelog dialog. This is where any changes is logged to the changelog. I can add some further description if I like. If not, I just click OK, and it will just log in the changelog that this installation has been initiated by me as administrator. So that's it. So now I maybe just want to restart the agent, and even though the computer is at home, I can click restart agent. Then it will tell the HTTP agent that it needs to run as soon as possible. When we're waiting for this, it should take a minute or so. I can just walk you through some of these details you have here. The first one here, you just have some information about the computer. You have the changelog as the one I showed before. This is just only the changelog for the computer selected here on the screen. So I actually have the history here on the computer, so I can see what changes have been created on this one as the last one. So if anyone have disputed anything, I have a quick view on when that was done. Okay, now we can see that the installation started on the computer, and I actually have a dialog here on my screen saying that it's installing 7-zip on the computer. Right, the inventory, click on hardware, we have some basic hardware information. So any information on the computer is available here, and of course all this information can also be used from the reporting. I'll show you that a little later. But it could be that, let's say that you want to buy some new memory or something, then you can see here which bank is available, and then you can buy the needed memory or whatever you need. We also have the software inventory. This is software installed on the computer. Well, it's not only the packages installed through the CapaInstaller. This is all the software available on a computer. It's the same inventory we are using from. Oh, it's just moved up. It's the same inventory we are using for license management. We have information about updates. I haven't configured this in my demo environment. We have some logon information available. Then a package information is the same as up here, and information about which groups is this computer member of. It could be static groups, dynamic groups, department groups, or maybe Active Directory groups. So you can decide that. I will show you the group types a little later. If you use printer management here in CapaInstaller, the printer that is available on the computer will be shown here. And if there are any relation to other devices from this computer, they will be available here. Then the last one is our performance guard integration, where we can see our utilization index on the computer. As we saw here, this 7-zip package has just been installed with success, so everything is good. If I right click, I can have an advanced log, which I can see details about the installation. Well, I will not go through this right now, but one of the things we can see is that it has downloaded this package to the computer, and we can also see how fast it is. So what you can see here is that it's using the HTTP protocol to download the package. So that is how to import a package and distribute it to the production environment. Let's just put this one. All right. So normally you need to add groups so you can sort all the computers and devices in a logical manner. And for that we have some different group types, as I mentioned before. If you click create group, you have this selection. You have department group, static group, AD groups, and dynamic group. Dynamic group is using queries from reporting queries. So it could be that you want every computer with less than 100 megabyte free displays to be added to this group. Then you can use the dynamic group for that. The static group is just for your own maintenance. Then you will need to add all the computers to the group yourself. An AD group is taken from Active Directory dynamically. So if you have integration to Active Directory and the group membership in Active Directory changes, then the group here in CapaInstaller will follow. One of the other things you can create in here is application for mobile devices, and it's kind of the same way as when you're creating packages for computers. We just call it device applications, and we have a little dialog for that. If we click on this create app, we have a little dialog here that you have a toolbox here on the left, and then you just need to select what you need in your application. And an enterprise application is a file you get from a vendor. It's in this case it's an EPA file, and you can just add that to the system. Or maybe you just want to get an application from the App Store, and you can just search directly in the App Store by providing an application name. It could be something like LinkedIn. Let's try to search for this one. And it will take about 10 seconds. I will have a lot of applications to search through, so let's just give it some time. And when this one is finished searching the Apple Store, then we are able to select the application with LinkedIn in the name. So this one is easy. I can just click on the LinkedIn and say OK to this, and then it's added. Just need to provide an application name, LinkedIn, test. Already have this in the system, so it's just for showing you the dialog on how to create this. So say OK to this and this one, and then I have an application that is ready to be distributed. Already have this one. So that is the way you create application for devices. So this devices that is available in here, well, it's the same thing as a computer. If you go down to units, you can see one of my devices in here is an iPad. And as a computer, you have the changelog, you have inventory. Maybe I have, yeah, we have inventory, software inventory on the devices. So it's kind of the same thing as a normal computer in here. So it's really easy to manage them in your environment using the same logic as managing normal computers. Um, One of the new things was what we call easy enrollment. The easy enrollment part is actually down here in the system administration. I have pre-configured one in here I could show you. So let's try to look at that. When we start up this easy enrollment or enrollment configuration, you will see the same dialog as when we created an application. But of course, it's another tool set. So again, we have a name, we have an enrollment ID, which is unique for this enrollment. Then I have selected which folder we want our device to be added to when we are enrolling it. And then we have pre-selected some static groups that we need this device to be added to. So, and then we have our authentication that normally you will have 80 user, but in some cases, some people just have the option just to enroll them without username and password, just to provide an easier way or faster way to enroll devices into the system. The last one in here gives you an option to copy the URL to the memory. So when this one is done, you can actually just create a QR code or send a mail to the owner of a device, and then it's ready to be enrolled into the system. We could try to do that now, I think. So just hang on here, and I will try to put you over to my phone so you can actually see how this will look at our phone. Just hang on a second. All right, hopefully you can see my phone now. Already sent the enrollment configuration to my phone by email, but as I said before, you can also use QR code that you can scan from the phone, and then you will use this enrollment configuration for enrolling your devices. I just click this link on my phone, and I can set up a primary user so I know who owns this device. This primary user we actually look up in the Active Directory. Then we need to go through this installation of the profile. This is standard iOS. You cannot enroll a phone without accepting these dialogues. We'll set up the certificate, and that's all done. Then we come back to our home page, and we are just waiting for this one to say success as a status, and hopefully everything is good in here. So hopefully this phone is actually added to the system now. So what I actually did was adding this phone to a group where I had LinkedIn in. So hopefully we should see that LinkedIn should be installed here in a couple of seconds. Here it is. So because I'm using this enrollment configuration, I can automatically get the application and configuration added to the computer or more to the device. So just click install on this one, and we should see that the installation of LinkedIn should start on the computer. That's it. Here you have it. It's just starting the installation. So I will try to go back to the console so you can see how thing is going on in there. So hang on again. Let's try to shift over. Alright, I should be back here in the CapaInstaller console. So yeah, you have my phone in here, and you can see that the LinkedIn status is installed. So everything is ready. So it could be, of course, you can add all the application you need or the configuration you need for the devices, and then you can create as much enrollment configuration as you like. So that's about it for configuration management. There is a lot of other features in here, but it takes a lot of time to go through all of them. So maybe later we could make another webinar where we go a little deeper into the features. All right, so let's take a look at the OS deployment. As I said before, a little earlier, the OS deployment is for configuring your operating system and updating them in your environment. As in the configuration management, we also have 2 points in here, and again, the production in here is a child for the test environment. So again, if I want to change anything in the production, I need to do it in the test environment again, and then promote it, and then it will be distributed to all the servers you have in your environment. In this demo, I have a Windows 10 technical preview and a Windows 8.1 in 64-bit, and I only have added one module for this one. So yeah, that's basically it. When it's available in here, I can just F12 for computer, or I can use the configuration management, and I can select the computers in here that have our agent on. So in this one, I could select the reinstall, and then I will have a menu where I can select which point I want to distribute this operating system from. So if I want to distribute Windows 10 directly to the computers, I could just go in here and set it up for reinstallation without going out to the computers and do anything. So that is the OS deployment module. Well, then let's take a look at the asset management. As I said earlier, asset management is where you can add information that we cannot scan with our agent. Of course, there's information that is not available on computer, such as what licenses has you bought in your environment or in your organization. So let me try to show you how this software licensing is working. Let's say that I want to track down how many VMware workstations I'm using. For that, I have all software list in here. It's a full list of all the software that is available. But to add some information, I need to create an application group so I can add information about the licenses you have. So I'll just link this to a new group. I will call this VMware Workstation and say OK to this. And we can see that the VMware Workstation is added to our application group. So it's just an easy way to have an overview of the application that you actually are interested in for license management. So that is very good, but we also need to provide some information about the licenses. To do this, we just right-click on the group, click on licenses, and then we can add information about the licenses that you have bought. So I select the per device, click add, and I have one license, and I don't know who is the supplier. And I can just say OK to this dialog. Then I have added one license to this application. Then if you have, or then if you get other licenses, you can just add them as you get. I'll show you a little later where we can use this information. We also have this asset information or this asset box where you can look at all your devices, and you can add these custom values as you like. So if you need to add information to units, you can do that by providing the information here in the asset management. So let's continue. All this information that you have from our agent and from our asset management, you want to get that information out with reporting and queries. So let's take a look at that module. We can start with where we left off with software. So if we click on the software, we again have these two application groups. And if we click on this one, we can see that we have one computer using VMware Workstation. Well, it's only a demo environment, but it's good for now. So what I then could do, I could try to make a license check on all of my application group by click this check license. And then I can see that how many licenses I have and how many is being used. So in this way I can get information about if I am license compliance in the environment. This report I can of course export. I can upload it to our reporting services, just as information as all the others. If you click on the hardware inventory, you saw the hardware inventory on one single computer before. But let me show you how you can add this to your own report. So I can just right click what the module that I'm interested in to know about, and click OK on this one, and then I can say preview, and then I have a preview about the computers in the system and the memory information. So if you look at here, we have all the banks in the computer and what memory is available in the banks. This report is possible to export this, of course. You can actually just select them out with Control C on the keyboard. And then if you have Notepad or whatever available, you can get the information out of here. Or even better, you can export it to the reporting services, SQL Server. So and you simply just give it a name. You can just call it memory, because that's what it's all about. And I can create a folder for that. I'll just use an existing one called reports and say OK for this. And then we'll create a report directly on my SQL reporting services that I can use from a web browser or whatever. So if you have any management department that need information, but you don't want them to have full access to the CapaInstaller management console, then you can just give them access to the SQL Server reporting services, and then you can look at the reports there. All the data over there will also be live data. Let's try to open this one up, see if we can see the data at the reporting server. And we're waiting for a response, and hopefully it will show up. And here we are. So this was the report, my custom report I created before, and of course you can just create it as you like to do it. It was just to show you how to use the reporting functionality in CapaInstaller. So it should be quite easy to use. Let's close this one down again. So that was something about the reporting feature. You can of course select all the hardware assets in here, software. You can take both hardware and software information or whatever you like. Very easy to use. So that's about it. Patch management. Well, there's not so much to say about that. It's a staged way to deploy patches in your environment. We are relying on the vSUS from Microsoft, so you need to have a full vSUS environment. But what we provide is a way to release the patches in what we call waves. So you can have 5 different release groups. So let's say that on a patch Tuesday, you will release to the first group of computers, and then 2 days later you will release to the next group, and so on. And then 10 days later, whole your environment will be updated to patch with the newest patches. In that way, we can protect your environment for maybe there could be an error in one of the patches, and you have the time to stop them before you are in the full production in your environment. That should be about it. Let's stop the demo here and just back to the slideshow. All right, we are back to the slideshow. Let's just summarize what we talked about before the demonstration. Well, CapaInstaller was one solution for both computers, smartphones, and tablets. You could delegate control to branch officers or even to user level if you like. So you can relieve your central IT resources to other projects. CapaInstaller is very easy to learn and master in your IT team. You should see that in the demonstration that it's very easy to add packages and application, very easy to add them to computers and devices. It's even easier to create a report and add it to the reporting services, and that way you increases your user satisfaction. So that's about it. The time is running fast, so I will stay here in the chat. So if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask them there. If you afterwards want to get in contact with me, you could email productmanagement@capasystems.com, or if you just want to look at some other technical guides or other information, try to take a look at capaviki.capasystems.com. Thank you very much for listening. See you out there. Bye.